the struggle for peace, the rise of China. No one knows how great a threat to world order the Chinese are now or will be in the future. Even the Chinese leaders themselves cannot have any assurance about when or how they will use their army. But governments throughout the world must decide what they will have to face from China and her leaders. For Asian powers, India, Japan, even Australia, China's future is a decisive part of their future. For the major powers, the present optimistic hopes for world security depend on what is done by the rulers of Peking. Conclusions can only be drawn from the facts about what the Chinese could do and from the evidence over the years of what they have done. China, like the Soviet Union, is a continental power. Her army, with 2.25 million men, is the largest anywhere and the predominant force in Asia. Having relied on others until 1960, the Chinese are now dependent on their own industry for weapon production. They can produce all the basic light arms their army needs and are now turning out one of the best Russian medium tanks. The Air Force, too, is based on Russian types assembled in Chinese plants. While the Russians were cooperating, about 2,000 MiG fighters were built and perhaps 300 light bombers. But no one is quite sure how many are still fully serviceable. Nuclear weapons have become a high priority of the Chinese military effort. Their first nuclear explosion was in 1964, 12 years after the British and 4 years after the French. But the Chinese surprised the world by building the most technically difficult and expensive facility, a gaseous diffusion plant. They are obviously going as fast as possible for hydrogen bombs. They are also developing ballistic missiles like America's rockets to carry them. This is a long-term effort, according to a close student of Chinese policy, Morten Halperin.
The Peking leadership, I think, takes a very long view of historical developments, and that they see China becoming a great power at the level of the United States and the Soviet Union, perhaps in 20 or 30 years. And they clearly see a major nuclear force as part of this situation.
The editor of the China Quarterly, Roderick McFarker, thinks they will go for long-range weapons as fast as possible.
In my opinion, the Chinese aim in developing hydrogen weapons and a nuclear armory in general is to attain parity with the Soviet Union and the United States in terms of world power and more precisely in terms of military power. Therefore, I take it as an assumption that they are putting all the money and men and expertise they can afford into developing H-bombs and into developing delivery systems, because they cannot claim parity with the two superpowers until they're able to land their H-bombs on American and Soviet targets. Now, the precise date when they will be able to achieve that aim is uncertain. I would thought it would be somewhere in the mid-70s or late 70s.
1/4 of the world's population, bigger enterprising people, the world's largest army, nuclear weapons under active development, a revolutionary ideology determined to change the face of the earth. These are the basic facts about China, the greatest unknown in the struggle for peace. In the series, The Struggle for Peace, The Rise of China. No one knows how great a threat to world order the Chinese are now or will be in the future. Even the Chinese leaders themselves cannot have any assurance about when or how they will use their army. But governments throughout the world must decide what they will have to face from China and her leaders. For Asian powers, India, Japan, even Australia, China's future is a decisive part of their future. For the major powers, the present optimistic hopes for world security depend on what is done by the rulers of Peking. Conclusions can only be drawn from the facts about what the Chinese could do and from the evidence over the years of what they have done. China, like the Soviet Union, is a continental power. Her army, with 2.25 million men, is the largest anywhere and the predominant force in Asia. Having relied on others until 1960, the Chinese are now dependent on their own industry for weapon production. They can produce all the basic light arms their army needs and are now turning out one of the best Russian medium tanks. The Air Force, too, is based on Russian types assembled in Chinese plants. While the Russians were cooperating, about 2,000 MiG fighters were built and perhaps 300 light bombers. But no one is quite sure how many are still fully serviceable. Nuclear weapons have become a high priority of the Chinese military effort. Their first nuclear explosion was in 1964, 12 years after the British and 4 years after the French. But the Chinese surprised the world by building the most technically difficult and expensive facility, a gaseous diffusion plant. They are obviously going as fast as possible for hydrogen bombs. They are also developing ballistic missiles like America's rockets to carry them. This is a long-term effort, according to a close student of Chinese policy, Morton Halpern. The Peking leadership, I think, takes a very wrong view of historical developments, and that they see China becoming a great power at the level of the United States and the Soviet Union, perhaps in 20 or 30 years. They clearly see a major nuclear force as part of this situation. The editor of the China Quarterly, Roderick McFarger, thinks they will go for long-range weapons as fast as possible. In my opinion, the Chinese aim in developing hydrogen weapons and nuclear armor in general is to attain parity with the Soviet Union and the United States in terms of world power and, more precisely, military power. Therefore, I take it as an assumption that they are